What's?
Now it's working. You're
It's just
recording.
recording. Okay, that's all you said.
No.
That hill. Not that hill. That hill not. But not that hill. Programs here, free programs. Oh yeah. Free programs. Can you give me some pictures for the seats right here? Yeah. Push it out of the way. Right here's good. We're working on amplifying environmental heating. What we like to do is go back here. And also you're here. So you have some responsibility for keeping continuity of storage yourself.
Right. Do you move as much as
The tops of these three hills are wax. And we have one big hill.
Hi, John.
Hi, Diane.
Are you the person on the camera?
Yes. The least experienced person.
What?
The least experienced person naturally to do the job.
I can't believe this is it. I'm not ready for it. That's why I did actually. I did this.
Go right in here, folks. Right in here. In here for the first thing. You don't want to move the place programs. All right.
Oh, okay.
Good, good. Over on that hill. Next thing, let's go right behind this spot. That hill over there for the first seat, okay? You probably want to move in there a bit. Yeah, sit over there. There's Elizabeth.
This is such a crazy song. Yeah, yeah.
that hill, folks. Anywhere past that hill. I think they're all over. Programs. All right, we're gonna start. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. All right. Good luck. You got a great program. Thanks. I'm gonna drop these underneath you for the time. Anywhere but that hill. Yeah, nice goal.
Been there the whole show.
Oh my.
Yesterday was
2 minutes of the cameo.
weren't you freezing?
No, it's fine. It's fine. That was like 20 minutes on Friday.
No, I want to check to make sure you didn't pull anything out, so I'll
I feel like I'm right in the center of this little amphitheater, guys. This is the before the curtain speech. They can open right up on there, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
I have no idea. Yeah, this is going to be shit. This is going to come out as shit.
It's pretty tough. You don't have the best lighting, I must say.
Exactly.
Although
Like
it'll
right
be
now,
better. It'll be a lot better.
I'm trying to.
Momentarily, when the lights kick on,
Yeah.
it'll be a lot better.
What I'm doing now is not going to come out at all.
might actually be kind of cold.
All right.
I don't know yet.
I'm trying to be, yeah, well, have somebody give me the deal. I'm trying to be front row. I'm the one in front row.
You want to what?
I'm the one in front row, so. I'm the one in front row. Hello, and welcome to our final performance of King Lear for this season. My name is Christopher Sanderson. I've been directing Shakespeare here in Washington Square Park for 7 seasons now. I'd like to think in those 7 seasons I've accumulated a few bits of wisdom, and I'd like to impart to you here in a brief speech about how you might best utilize this form of theater for your enjoyment. We will be moving from place to place using the tops of these hills. We ask that when we're on the tops of the hills, if you will please scoot down to around the dotted lines. If you're patient with this, it will yield a benefit, because if you're one of the ones to get on the dotted lines, you sit down, you turn around, you've got front row seats. It is, as they say, environmental theater. We'll also have one scene down here in the middle, so when you see the blind guy coming in there, you want to scoot out a bit, okay? Also, please, feel free to adjust your own point of view at any time during the performance. We'd like to ask you to take some responsibility for following the story that Shakespeare has created by adjusting your point of view if you can't see or hear correctly. Always take the time to move. It will yield benefits, we hope. The idea being that every seat in this damn house is the best damn seat in this house, because you always choose your own damn seat in this house. We are Gorilla Rep, and this is King Lear.
Always seemed so to us. But now, in the division of the kingdom, it appears not which the Duke values most. For qualities are so weighed that curiosity and neither can make choice of either spoil.
Is not this your son, my lord?
His breeding, sir, has been at my charge. I have so often blushed to acknowledge it that now I am brave to it.
I cannot conceive you.
Sir, this young fellow's mother could. Whereupon she grew round-wombed and had indeed, sir, a son for her cradle, and she had a husband for her bed. smell of fault.
I cannot wish the fault undone, the issue of it being so proper.
But I have a son, sir, by order of law, some year elder than this, who yet is no dearer in my account. Though this knave came something saucily to the world before he was sent for, yet was his mother fair, there was good sport at his baking, and the horse that must be acknowledged. You know this noble gentleman, Edmund?
No, my lord.
My lord of Kent. Remember him hereafter as my honorable friend.
My services to your lordship.
I must love you, and soon to know you better.
Sir, I shall study deserving.
He has been out 9 years, and away he shall again. Spring is coming.
In the lords of France and Burgundy, Gloucester.
I shall, my lord.
Meantime, we shall express our darker purpose. Give me the map, there. Know that we have divided in 3 our kingdom, and 'tis our vast intent to shake all cares and business from our age, conferring them on younger strength, while we, unburdened, roll to death. Our son of Cornwall, and you are no less loving son of Albany. We have this hour a constant will to publish our daughter's several dowers, that future strife may be prevented now. Princes France and Burgundy, great rivals in our youngest daughter's love, long in our court have made their amorous sojourn and are here to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, since now we will divest us both of rule, interest of territory, cares of state, which of you shall we say doth love us most? That we, our largest bounty may extend, where nature doth with merit challenge. Goneril, our eldest boy, speak first.
Sir, I love you more than words can reel the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty. Beyond what can be valued, rich or rare. No less than life, with beauty, health, grace, and honor. A love that makes breath poor and speech unable. Beyond all matter of so much. I love you.
What shall Cordelia do? Love and be silent.
All these bounds, even from this line to this, with shadowy forests, with champagnes riched, with plenteous rivers, wide-skirted seas, we make thee lady. To thine and Albany's issue be this perpetual. What says our second daughter, our dearest Greek and wife to Cornwall? Speak.
Sir, I am made of that self-same metal that my sister is, and prize me at her worth. In my true heart I find she names my very deed of love, only she comes too short. That I profess myself an enemy to all other joys, the most precious square of sense possesses, and find I am alone felicited in your dear highness's love.
And then poor Cordelia. And yet not so, since I'm sure my love's more richer than my tongue.
Thee and thine hereditary ever remain the sample bird. Fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, or pleasure than that conferred on Goneril. And now our joy, although the last, not least, to whose young love the vines of France and milk of Burgundy strive to be interest. What can you say to draw a third, more opulent than your sisters? Speak.
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
Unhappy that I am, I cannot heap my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty according to my bond. Nor more, nor less.
How, Cordelia? Bend your speech a little, lest it be far your fortune.
Good my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as our right fit. Obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why am my sister's husband if they say they love you all? Haply when I shall wed, that man whose hand must take my plight shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure I shall never marry like my sisters to love my father all.
What goes thy heart with this?
I, good
young, and so tender.
So young, my lord, and true.
Let it be so. Thy truth then be thy dower. For by the sacred radiance of the sun, the mysteries of Hecate and the night, by all the operation of the orbs, from whom we do exist and cease to be, here I disclaim all my paternal care, propinquity and property of blood, and as a stranger to my heart and me, hold thee from this forever.
Good, my liege.
His head, come not between the dragon and his wrath. I loved her most, thought to set my breast on her kind nursery. Hence, and avoid my sight. Oh, be my grave, my peace, as here I give her father's heart unto her. Call France, who stirs? Call Burgundy! Onward, and Albany, with my 2 daughters' dowers, digest this third. Let pride which she calls plainness marry her. I do invest you jointly with my power, preeminence in all the large effects that troop with majesty. Ourself by monthly course, with reservation of 100 knights, while you to be sustained, shall our abode make with you by new terms. Only we still retain the name, and all additions to a king. The sway, revenue, execution of the rest beloved sons be yours, which to confirm this covenant part against you.
Royal Lear, whom I have ever honored as my king, loved as my father, as my master followed, as my great patron fought on in my prayers.
The boy is bent and drawn. Make for the shaft.
Let it fall, rather, though the fork invade the region of my heart. Be Kent unmannerly when Lear is mad. What wilt thou do, old man? Thinkest thou that duty shall have dread to speak, when power to flattery bows? To plainness honor's bound, when majesty stoops to folly. Reverse thy doom, and in thy best consideration check this hideous rashness. Answer my life, my judgment. Thy youngest daughter does not love thee least.
Kent, on thy life. Luomo!
My life I never held but as a pawn, to wage against thine enemies, nor fear to lose it, thy safety being the motive.
No! Out of my sight!
See better, Lear, and let me still remain the true blank of thine eye.
Now, by Apollo!
No, by Apollo, King! Thou swearest thy gods in vain!
Oh, that's
You kill thy physician, and the fear bestow upon thy foul disease! Revoke thy doom! Or whilst I can bend clamor from my throat, I'll tell thee, thou dost evil!
Hear me, recreant! On thine allegiance, hear me! Since thou hast sought to make us break our vow, which we durst never yet have a strained pride to come between our sentence and our power, which nor our nature nor our place can bear, our potency made good, take thy reward. 5 days do we allot thee, for provisions to shield thee from diseases of the world, and of the 6th, to turn thy hated back on our kingdom. If, on the 10th day following, thy vanished trunk be found in our dominions, the moment is thy death. Away, my Jupiter, you shall not be revoked.
Very well, King. Sith thus thou wilt appear, freedom lives hence, and banishment is here. The gods to their due shelter take thee, maid, that justly thinkest, and hast most rightly said. And your large speeches may your deeds approve, that good effects may spring from words of love. Thus Kent, O princes, bid you all adieu. He'll shape his old course in a country new.
Yes, France and Burgundy, my noble lord.
My lord of Burgundy, we first address towards you, who this king hath rivaled for our daughter. What in the least will you require in present dower with her? Cease your question, lord.
Most royal Lear, I crave no more than what your highness offered, nor will you tender less.
Right, noble Burgundy. When she was dear to us, we did hold her so. But now the price is falling. Sir, there she stands. She's there, she's yours.
I know no answer.
Will you, with those infirmities she owns, unfriended, new adopted to our hate, Unallied with our curse, and strange with our oath. Take her or leave her.
Pardon me, royal sir. Election makes not up on such conditions.
Then leave her, sir, for by the power that made me, I tell you all her wealth. For you, great king, I will not from your love make such a stray to match you where I hate. Therefore beseech you to avert your liking in a more worthy way than on a wretch whom nature is ashamed almost to acknowledge her.
This is most strange that even but now was your best object. Argument of your praise, balm of your age, most best, most dearest, should in this trice of time commit things so monstrous as to dismantle so many folds of favor.
I yet beseech your majesty, if for I want that glib and oily art to speak and purpose not, 'tis what I well intend, I'll do it before I speak. That you make known it is no vicious plot, murder or foulness, no unchaste action or dishonored step that hath deprived me of your grace and favor, but even for want of that for which I am richer, a still soliciting eye, and such a tongue as I am glad I have not, though not to have it hath lost me in your liking.
Better thou hadst not been born than not to have pleased me better.
Is it but this?
Oh.
A tardiness in nature which often leaves history unspoke that it intends to do. My Lord of Burgundy, what say you to the lady?
Most royal majesty, give but that portion which yourself proposed. And here I take Cordelia by the hand, Duchess of Burgundy.
Nothing! I have sworn, I am firm.
I am sorry then that you have so lost a father that you must lose a husband.
Peace be with Burgundy. If that respects of fortune are his love, I shall not be his wife.
Fairest Cordelia, thou that art most rich being poor, most choice forsaken, most loved, despised. Thee and thy virtues, here I seize upon, be it lawful I take up, once cast away. God, this strange that with their false neglect, my love should kindle to inflamed respect. And now, alas, daughter king, known to my chance, is queen of us, of Wales and our fair France. None of the dukes of waterish Burgundy can buy this unprized, precious maid of me. Bid them farewell, Cordelia. Though unkind thou losest here, a better where to find.
Thou hast her friends, let her be thine. For we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. So be gone. Without our grace, our love, our medicine, come over the day.
Bid your sisters farewell.
You, little father, with washed eyes Cordelia leaves you. I know you what you are, and like a sister am most loath to call your faults as they are named. Use well our father. To your professing bosoms I commit him. But yet, alas, to die within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So farewell to you both. Prescribe not us our duty.
Let your study be to content your Lord who hath received you in fortune's all. You have obedience gathered, and while our words are wanted, you wanted.
Time to unfold what let it be.
Sister, it is not a little I have to say of what most nearly appertains to us both. I think our father will head tonight.
That's most certain, and with you, next month with us.
The apple of change of ages. He always loved our sister most. With what poor judgment he hath now cast her off appears too gross.
'Tis the infirmity of his age, and he hath ever but slenderly known himself.
There's further compliments of leave taking between France and him. Pray you, let's hit together. If our father carries forward in such dispositions as he bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us.
We shall further think on it.
We must do something, and in the heat.
Thou, nature, art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me, for that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base? when my dimensions are as well compact, my mind is generous, and my shape as true as honest madam's issue? Why brand they us with base, bases, bastard, base, who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition and fierce quality than doth within a dull, stale, tired bed, go to the creating a whole tribe of fops, got between asleep and wake? Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund as to the legitimate. Fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow. I cross. Now God stand up for bastards!
And Spanish dust, and friends intolerant, and the ain't one tonight. Prescribe this power confined to exhibition. All this done upon the gad. Listen, how now, when you...
So please your lordship, none.
Why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter?
I know no news, my lord.
What paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No? Why then that terrible dispatch of it into your pocket? The quality of nothing hath not such need to hide itself. But see, come on. If it be nothing, I shall not need spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter I have received from my brother, which I have not all o'er read, and for as much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your own looks.
Give me the letter, sir.
Shall offend either to detain or to give it. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame.
Let's see.
I hope for my brother's justification that he wrote this, what as an essay, or taste of my virtue.
This policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter to the best of our time. Keeps our fortune from us till our oldness cannot relish them. I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of age and tyranny, who sways not as it has power, but as it is suffered. Come to me that of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever and live the beloved of your brother, Edgar. Huh? Conspiracy? If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever? My son, Edgar? Had he a hand to write this, a heart and brain to read it in? When came you to this? Who brought it?
There's the cunning of it, sir. It was not brought me. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet.
You know the character to be your brother?
If the matter were good, my lord, I'd just swear it were his. But in respect of that, I would fain think it were not. It is his hand, my lord. But I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Has he never before sounded you in this business?
Never, my lord. But I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons at perfect age and fathers declining, his father should be as lord to the son, and the son manage his revenue.
Villain, his very opinion in the letter. Go, son, seek him out. I will apprehend him. Abominable! Where is he?
I do not well know, mine. If it shall please you, suspend your indignation against my brother till you can derive from him better testimony of his intent. You will run a certain course. Where if you proceed violently against him, mistaking his purpose, it would make a great gap in your own honor and shake in peace the heart of obedience. I dare bond down my life, and he wrote this but to feel my affection for your honor and no further pretense of things.
Think you so?
Your honor, Judge, I will place you where you will hear us confer on this, and by an auricular assurance have your justification. And that without any further delay, it will spare you.
He cannot be such a monster.
Nor is not sure.
To his father, who so tenderly and entirely loves him. Heaven and earth. Go, Edmund, seek him out. Wind me into him, I pray you. Frame the business after your own wisdom. I would state myself to be his due brother.
I will seek him, sir, presently. Convey the business as I shall find means, and acquaint you with him.
These late eclipses of the sun and moon portend no good to us. Love cools, friendship falls, brothers divide. In cities, mutinies. In countries, discord. Palaces freezing, and the bond cracked betwixt son and father. This villain of mine comes under the prediction, there's son against father. The king falls from bias of nature, there's father against child. We have seen the best of our time, and the true and noble Ken vanished. His defense, honesty, disgrace.
This is the excellent foppery of the world. That when we are sick in fortune, often the serpent of our own behaviors, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, the stars, as if we were villains by necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, treacherous by spirit-voking God. Tut! I should have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Edgar! And Patty comes like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is villainous melancholy with a sigh like Tom O'Benn. Oh, these disasters do portend these eclipses. Far so long.
Oh, now, Brother Edmund, what serious contemplation are you in?
I am thinking, brother, of a prediction I read this other day what should follow these eclipses.
You busy yourself about that.
I promise you, the effects of his rights proceed unhappily as of unnaturalness between the child and parent, death, dearth, disillusion of ancient amity, divisions in state, menaces and maledictions against king and nobles, needless diffidences, banishment of friends, nuptial breaches, and I know not what.
How long have you been a secretary astronomical?
Come, come. When saw you my father? Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours ago.
Parted you in good terms, found you no displeasure in him by word or countenance.
None at all.
Bethink yourself wherein you may have offended him. At my entreaty, forbear his presence for some little time, walk by the mischief of your person. Yes, sir.
Something has gone wrong.
That's my fear. I pray you, brother, have a continent forbearance, so the speed of his rage goes slower. And as I said, retire with me to my dwelling, from whence I will fitly bring you to my lord's feet. Pray you away. He is my people. You do stir abroad, brother. Go on.
Brother!
Brother, I do advise the best. Go on. I am no honest man, if there be any good meaning towards you. I told you what I've seen and heard and think. Nothing like what you did into the horror of it. Pray you, away.
Shall I help you or not?
I do serve you in this business. A credulous father and a brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects her, on whose foolish honesty my practices ride easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit. All with me's meat that I can fashion fit.
Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding on his fool?
Yes, madam.
By day and night he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into one gross crime or other that sets us all in odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say I am sick.
He is coming, madam. I hear him.
Oh, put on what weary negligence you please, you and your fellows. I'll have it come to question. If he dislike it, let him to our sister, whose mind and mine I know and that are one, not to be overruled. Remember what I tell you.
Well, madam.
And let his life household work among us. What grows of it, no matter. I would breed from hence occasions, and I shall, that I may speak. I'll write straight to my sister to hold my very court. Go, prepare for dinner.
Now banish Kent. If thou canst serve where thou dost stand condemned, so may it come, thy master, whom thou lovest, shall find thee full of labor.
Send me that spare shot for dinner. Go get it ready. Oh, now, what art thou?
A man, sir.
What dost thou profess? What wouldst thou with us?
I do profess to be no less than I seem. To serve him truly, that would put me in trust. To love him, that is honest. To converse with him, that is wise and says little. To fear judgment. To fight when I cannot choose. And to eat no fish.
What art thou?
A very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as the king.
If thou be as poor for a subject as he is for a king, thou art poor enough. What wouldst thou?
Service.
Who wouldst thou serve?
You.
Dost thou know me, fellow?
No, sir, but there is in your countenance which I would fain call master.
What's that?
Authority.
What services canst thou do?
I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, our curious tale and telling it, deliver a plain message bluntly. That which ordinary men are fit for, I am qualified in, and the best of me is diligence.
How old art thou?
Not so young, sir, to love a woman for singing, nor too old to dote on her for anything.
Follow me, thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I will not part from thee yet. Dinner! Oh, dinner! Where's my knave, my fool? Oh, you would call him my fool. You, Sirrah, where's my daughter?
So please you.
Says the fellow there. Call the clock pole back. Where's my fool? Oh, I think the world's asleep. Oh, now, where's that buckle?
My lord, he says your daughter is not well.
Why came not the slave back to me when I called him?
He answered me in the roundest manner. He would not.
He would not.
My lord, I know not what the matter is, but to my judgment, your highness is not entertained with that ceremonious affection as you were wont.
Oh, but rememberest me of mine own conception. I have perceived the most faint neglect of late, which I have rather blamed on mine own jealous curiosity than as a very pretense and purpose of unkindness. I will look further into it. Where's my fool? I have not seen him this 2 days. Since our unloving daughter's going into France, he hath much pined away. Go you and tell my daughter I would speak with her. Go you, call hither my fool. Oh, you, come you hither. Who am I, sir?
My lady's father.
My lady's father. My Lord's name, you're a whoresome dog, you slave. You cur.
I am none of these, my lord. I beseech your pardon.
You bandy looks with me, you rascal.
I'll not be struck.
You base football player!
No, my friendly man, your service that lovely.
Come arise, I'll show you differences. If you will measure your love and you can tear that go away, so!
His arm is not my service.
No! Let me hire him too! Here's my coxcomb!
How now, my pretty knave? How dost thou?
Sirrah, you had best take my coxcomb!
Why, fool?
Why? For taking part with one that's out of favor. Nay, and thou canst not smile as the wind sits. Thou catch cold shortly. There's my coxcomb! Why, this fellow has banished 2 honest daughters and did desert a blessing against his will! If thou wilt follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. Ooh. How now, nuncle? Well, I had 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters.
Why, my boy?
Why, if I gave them all my living, I'd keep my coxcombs myself. There's mine! Beg another of thy daughters!
Take heed, Sarah! The whip!
Truce a dog! Must to kennel! He must be whipped out! When Lady the bitch may stand by the fire and stink.
A pestilence all to me!
Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech.
Do.
Mark it, uncle. Have more than thou showest. Speak less than thou knowest. Lend less than thou owest. Ride more than thou goest. Learn more than thou trowest. Set less than thou throwest. Leave thy drink and thy whore, and keep in a door, and thou shalt have more than 2 tens to a score. This is nothing, fool! Then 'tis like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. You gave me nothing for it. Can thou make no use of nothing, nuncle?
Why no, boy, nothing can be made out of nothing.
Prithee, tell him so much the rent of his land comes to. He will not believe a fool.
Be a fool.
Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between the bitter and the sweet food?
No, lad.
Thee, oh, that lord that counseled thee to give away thy land. Come, place him here by me. Now, for him stand. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear. The one in motley here, the other found out there. Ding, 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 ding.
Dost thou call me fool, boy?
All thy other titles thou hast given away. That thou was born with.
This is not altogether full, my lord.
No, faith, lords and great men will not let me. If I had a monopoly out, they'd have part on it. And ladies, too. They will not let me have all fool myself. They'll be snatching. Fools have ne'er less wits in a year, for wise men are grown foppish. They know not how their wits to wear. Their manners are so apish.
When were you wont to be so full of songs, Sirrah?
I have used it, no, ever since thou madest thy daughters thy mothers, from whence thou gavest them the rod, and putst down thy own breeches. The sudden joy did weep, and I for sorrow sung, that such a king should play Bo Peep and go the fool among. Uncle, keep a schoolmaster that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to.
And you lie, Sirrah. We'll have you whipped.
I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll have me whipped for speaking true. Thou have me whipped for lying. Sometimes I'm whipped for holding my peace. Oh. I'd rather be any kind of thing than a fool. Yet, I would not be thee. Thou hast paired thy wit on both sides, and left nothing in the middle. Ah! Here comes one of the pairings!
Oh, no, daughter! What makes that frontlet on? Methinks you are too much of maid in the world.
Oh, thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hadst no need to care for her crowning. Now thou art to know without a figure. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool. Thou art nothing.
Not only, sir, this your all-licensed fool, but other of your insolent retinue do hourly carp and quarrel, breaking forth in rank and not to be adored by it. Sir, I had hoped by making this well known to you to have found a safer dress, but now grow fearful by what yourself have later spoken done, that you approve this course and put it on by your allowance.
For you trow, Uncle, the head sparrow fed the cuckoo so long that it had its head bit off by it young. So out went the candle, and we were left darkling.
Are you our daughter?
Come, sir, I would you would make use of that good wisdom, whereof I know you are fraught, and put away these dispositions that of late transform you from what you rightly are.
May not an ass know when the cart draws the horse. Oh, look, Jug, I love thee.
Doth any here know me? This is not Lear. Doth Lear walk thus? Speak thus? Where are his eyes? Are they his notion weakens? His discernings are lethargy? Waking? 'Tis not so. Who is it that can tell me who I am?
Lear Shadow!
I would learn that, for by the marks of sovereignty, knowledge, and reason, I should be false persuaded I had daughter.
Which they will make an obedient father!
Your name, fair gentlewoman.
This admiration, sir, is much of the savor of your other new pranks. I do beseech your grace to understand my purposes aright. As you are old and reverend, you should be wise. But here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so debauched and bold, that this our court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn. The epicurism and lust make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a gracious palace. That very shame itself doth speak for instant remedy. How be then desired by her that else will take the thing that she begs, a little to this quantity your train.
Darkness and devils! Call my train together, saddle my horses. Degenerate bastard! I'll not trouble thee, yet have I left a daughter.
You strike my people, and your disordered rabble make servants of their betters!
Well, that too late repent. Sir, I will come. Is it your will? Speak, sir. Call my train together. In gratitude, thou marble-hearted fiend, more hideous when thou showest thee a child than the sea monster.
Pray, sir, be patient.
Detested kite, thou liest! O most small fault, how ugly didst thou in continually show, when like an engine wrenched my frame of nature from its fixed place. Drew from heart your love, and added to the gore. Oh, Lear, Lear, Lear! Beat at this gate that let thy folly in, and thy poor judgment out! Go, my people!
My lord, I am guiltless as I am ignorant of what hath moved you.
It may be so, my lord. Here, nature here! There, God is here! If thou didst pretend to make this creature fruitful, into her womb convey sterility, dry up in her the organs of increase, and from her derogate body never spring a babe to honor her. If she must teem, create in her child of spleen, that it may live and be a thwart this natured torment to her. Let it spread channels in her brow of youth, with cane tears for channels in her cheeks. Turn all her mother's pains and benefits to laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away, away!
Now God that we adore, up comes this.
Never afflict yourself to know the cause, but let his disposition have that scope that dotage gives it.
What, 50 of my followers had a clap within a
What's
fortnight?
the matter, sir?
I tell thee, life and death. I am ashamed that thou hast power to shape my manhood thus. These hot tears, which break from me before, should make thee worse. Blasted thoughts upon thee. The untented woundings of a father's curse pierce every sense about thee. Proud fond eyes, beweep this cause again. I'll pluck ye out and cast you into the waters that you loosed. Oh, is it come to this? Let it be so. Yet have I left the daughter, whom I am sure is kind and comfortable. And she shall hear this from thee. With her nails she'll flay thy wolfish visage. Thou shalt find, and I'll resume the shape which thou dost think I have cast off forever. Thou shalt, I warrant thee.
You mark that, my lord!
Cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear you.
Pray you content! What Oswald has! You, sir! More knave than fool after your master!
Uncle Lear, tarry and take the fool with thee! A fox, when one has caught her, and such a daughter, should soar to the slaughter. If my captain would by a halter, so the fool follows after.
This man is a good counsel! 100 knights! 'Tis politic and safe to let him keep appointed 100 knights. Yea, that on every dream he may guide his dotage with their powers and hold our lives at mercy! Oswald, I say!
Or you may fear too far.
Safer than trust too far. I know his heart. What he has uttered, I have writ my sister. She sustained him in his 100 knights when I have showed the unfitness. Oh, what Oswald, ho! Have you written that letter to my sister?
Yes, madam.
Take you some company and a weight horse, that form a full of my particular fear, and there to add such reasons of your own as may compact it more. Hence get you gone, and hasten your return.
How far your eyes may pierce, I cannot tell. Striving to better, oft we mar what's well.
Nay, then.
Well, the event?
Who you before to master with this letter? acquaint my daughter no further with anything you know other than comes from her domain out of the letter. If your diligence be not speedy, I shall be there for you.
I will not sleep, my lord, till I have delivered the letter.
Shalt see, thy other daughter will use thee kindly, though she's as like this as a crab's like to an apple. Yes, I can tell what I can tell.
Wait, what canst thou tell, my boy?
That so taste is like this, as a crab does to a crab. Canst tell why one's nose stands in the middle of its face? Why, to keep one's eyes of either side's nose. That what a man cannot smell out, he may spy into.
I did it wrong!
Canst tell how an oyster makes his shell.
No!
Nor I neither. But I can tell why a snail has a house. Why to put his head into. Not to give it away to his daughters and leave his horns without a case.
I did her wrong! So kind to father, let me not forget my nature. Oh, be my horses ready?
Thy asses are gone about them. The reason why the 7 stars are no more than 7 is a pretty reason.
Because they are not in.
Yes! Yes! Indeed! Ha-ha! That would make a good fool.
Let me not be mad! Not mad, sweet heaven! Keep me in temper! I would not be mad! Oh no! Are the horses ready?
Ready, Nuncle.
Come, boy!
She that's a maid now and laughs at my departure shall not be a maid long, unless things be cut short. Wah!
Sir! I've been with your father and given him notice that the Duke of Cornwall and Regan, his Duchess, will be here with him this night. I know not. You have heard of the news abroad. I mean the whispered ones, for they are yet but ear-kissing arguments.
Not a word. Pray you, what are they?
Have you heard of no likely wars towards twixt the Dukes of Cornwall and Albany?
Not I.
You may do then, in time. Fare you well, sir!
The Duke be here tonight. The better, best. This weaves itself perforce into my business. My father has set guard to take my brother, and I have one thing of a queasy question which I must act. Briefness and fortune work. Brother, a word. Ascend, brother, I say. My father watches. Oh, sir, fly this place. Intelligence is given where you are hid. You have now the good advantage of the night. Have you nothing said against the Duke of Cornwall? He's coming hither, now in the night, in the haste, and Regan with him. Upon his party, have you nothing said against the Duke of Albany? Advise yourself, brother.
I'm sure of it, not a word.
I hear my father coming. Pardon me. In cunning, I must draw my sword against you. Draw! Seem to defend yourself. Now quit you well. Yield! Come before my father! Light ho! Hey! Fly, brother! Torches! Torches! So farewell! Some blood drawn on me would beget opinion of my more fierce endeavor. I've seen drunkards do more than this in sport. Help! Father! Stop! No, help! Father! Father! Here stood he on the dark and sharp sword out, mumbling wicked charms, conjuring the moon to stand auspicious.
Well, where is it?
Look, sir, I bleed.
Where is the villain?
Led he this way, when by no means
Show him how! Go after, by no means what?
persuade me to the murder of your lordship. But then I told him the revenging gods against parasites and all their dungeons bend. Spoke without manifold and strong and fond the child was to the father, sir. In fine, seeing how lowly opposite I stood to his unnatural purposes, with his sharp sword out he charges my unprovided body and lance mine arm. But when he saw my best alarm spears, full suddenly he fled.
That is my far. Not in this land shall he remain uncaught. I'm found back! The good king, my master, my worthy arch and patron, comes here tonight. By his authority I will proclaim it, that he which finds him shall deserve our thanks. bringing the murderous coward to the stake. He that conceals him, dead!
When I dissuaded him from his intent and found him tight to do it, with cursed speech I threatened to discover him, he replied, "Thou unpossessing bastard! Dost thou think if I would stand against thee with the repulsion of any trust, worth, or virtue in thee make thy words faith? No! What I should deny is this I would. I, though thou didst produce my very character, and turn it all to thy suggestions, plot and damn practice."
Strong and fashioned villain. Would he deny his letters, said he? I never got him. Hark! The Duke's trumpets. I know not why he comes. All ports are barred. The villain shall not escape. The Duke must grant me that. And for my lands, strong and natural boy, I'll find the means to make thee capable.
How now, my noble lord? Since I came hither, which I can call but now, I have heard strange news.
If it be true, all vengeance comes too short which can pursue the offender. How does my lord?
Oh, madam, my old heart is cracked. Cracked.
What, did my father's godson seek your life? He whom my father named your Edgar?
Lady, shame would have it be.
Was he not companion with the riotous knights that tend upon my father?
No, not madam.
Yes, madam. He was of that consort.
'Twas no marvel then, though he were ill affected. 'Twas they have put him on the old man's death, to have the waste and expense of his revenue. I have for my sister this present evening well thwarted them, and with such caution, that if they come to sojourn at my house, I'll not be there.
Nor I, assure thee, Regan. Edmund, hear that you have shown your father a childlike office.
'Twas my duty, sir.
He did parade his practice and received his virtues, striving to apprehend.
Is he pursued?
He is, my lord.
If he be taken, we shall never more be feared of doing harm. Make your own purpose how my strength be pleased. For you, Edmund, whose virtue and obedience doth this instant so much commend itself, you shall be ours. Natures of such deep trust we shall much need. You, we first seize on.
I shall serve you, sir. Truly. However else.
For his sake, I thank your grace.
You know not why we come to visit you.
Our father hath read so with our sister's differences, the which I least thought it fit to answer from our home. Our good old friend, lay comforts to your bosom, and bestow your needful counsel to our business, which claims the instant use.
I serve you, madam. Your graces are right welcome.
Good morning to thee, friend. Art thou of this house?
Aye,
Where may we set our horses?
in a mire.
Prithee, if thou lovest me, tell me.
I love thee not.
Why then I care not for thee.
If I had thee in this greeting boat, I would make thee bear for me.
Why dost thou use me thus? I know thee not.
Fellow, I know thee.
What dost thou know me for?
A knave, a rascal, an eater of broken meat, a base, proud, shallow, beggarly, three-suited, 100-pound, filthy, worsted, stalking knave, a lily-livered, action-taking knave, a whoreson, glass-gazing, super service of a finical rogue, one drunk inheriting slave, one who would be aboard in way of good service, and art nothing but the composition of knave, rascal, coward, beggar, pander, and the son and heir of a mongrel bitch!
Why, what a monstrous fellow art thou, thus to rail on one that is neither known of thee nor knows thee?
What a brazen-faced fortitude art thou, to deny thou knowest me! Is it 2 days ago since I tripped thee up in heels and beat thee afore the king? Draw, you rogue!
Away, I have nothing to do with thee.
Draw, you rascal! You come with letters against the king, and play vanity the puppet part against her royal father? Draw, rogue! Or also carbonado your shanks? Draw, you rascal! Come your way!
Help! Who? Murder! Help! How now? What's the matter here?
With you, goodman boy, and your bees, come off, fleshy! Come on, young master!
Arms, weapons, what's the matter here?
Keep peace upon your lives! He dies and strikes again! What is the matter?
The messengers from our sister and the king.
What is your difference? Speak!
I am scarce in breath, my lord.
Speak yet! I'll brew your quarrel!
This ancient ruffian, sir, whose life I have spared at suit of his grey beard.
Thou whoreson said, thou unnecessary letter, My lord, if you would give me leave, I would tread this unbolted villain into mortar and dub the wall of a jinx with him. Still, my baby, you wagtail!
Peace, Sierra! You beastly knave, know you no reverence!
Aye, sir, but anger hath a privilege.
Why art thou angry?
That such a slave as this should wear a sword who wears no honesty. Such smiling rogues as these, like rats, oft bite the holy cords atwain, which are too entrenched and loose. Smooth every passion that in the nature of their lords rebel, bring oil to fire, snow to their colder moods, renege, affirm, and turn their halcyon beaks with every gale and bury of their masters, knowing not, like dogs, but following plague upon your epileptic disease. Smile, you mice, just as I were full. Goose, if I had you on ceremony, I'd drive ye cackling home to Camelot.
What? Art thou mad, old fellow? What is his fault?
His countenance likes me not.
No more perchance is mine, nor his nor hers.
'Tis my occupation to be plain. I have seen better faces in my time than stands on any shoulder that I see before me at this instant.
This is some fellow, who having been praised for bluntness, doth affect a saucy rogue, and constrains a god quite from his nature. He cannot flatter, he, an honest-minded plain. He must speak truth, and they shall take it so, if not, he's plain.
Sir, in good sooth, in sincere verity, under the allowance of your great aspect, whose influence, like the wreath of radiant fire on flickering Phoebus's front.
What meanst by this?
Do go out of my dialect, which you discommend so much! Sir, I am no flatterer. He that beguiled you in plain accent was a plain knave, which for my part I will not be, though I should win your disapproval to entreat me to't.
What was the offense you gave him?
I never gave him any. It pleased the king, his master, to strike against me upon his misconstruction.
None but rogues and cowards, but Ajax is therefore.
Fetch forth the stocks! You stubborn, ancient knave! You reverent braggart! We'll teach you!
I am too old to learn. Connor your stocks for me! I serve the king, on whose employment I am sent to you.
Fetch forth the stocks! As I have life and honor, there shall he sit till noon!
Till noon! Till night, my lord, and all night too.
This is a fellow of the self-same color our sister speaks of. Come, bring away the stocks!
I do beseech your grace not to do so. His offense is much, and the good king, his master, will check you for it. The king must take it ill that he, so slightly valued in his messenger, could have him thus restrained.
I'll answer that.
My sister may receive it much worse, to have her gentleman abused, assaulted, for following her affairs. Put in his legs! Come, my good lord, away!
I am sorry for the friend. I will retreat.
Pray, sir, do not. I have watched and traveled hard. Sometime I shall sleep out. The rest I'll whistle. A good man's fortune may go up to heels. Give you good mortal.
The duke's to blame in this will be ill taken.
I may peruse this letter. Nothing almost sees miracles but misery. My note is from Cordelia. She hath most fortunately been informed of my obscure course, and will find time in this enormous state, seeking to give losses their remedies. Fortune! Good night. Oh, smile once more. Turn and weep.
I heard myself proclaimed, and by the happy hollow of a tree escaped the hunt. No port is free, no place where guard and most unusual vigilance the sun attend my taking. Whilst I've escaped, I will preserve my soul. And let me thought to take the basest and most poorest shape that ever penury and contempt of man brought near the beast. My face I'll drive with filth, blanket my loins, elf all my hair in knots, and with presented nakedness, I'll face the winds and persecutions of the sky. The country gives me proof and precedent of bedlam beggars who, with roaring voices, strike in their numbed and mortified bare arms, pins, wooden bricks, nails, bring the blows chariots, and with this horrible object, from low farms, poor pelting villages, sheepcotes, mills, sometimes with lunatic bands, sometimes with prayers, enforce their charity. For turning on! Torture! That's something yet. Edgar, I nothing am.
Don't depart from home and not send back my messenger.
As I learned the night before, there was no purpose in them of this remove.
Hail, noble master!
Huh! Makest thou this shame?
No, sir! Horses are tied by the head, dogs and bears by the neck, monkeys by the loins, and men by the legs.
What's he that hath so much thy place to set thee here?
'Tis both he and she, your son and daughter.
Yeah. No, I say.
I say yea.
No, they would not.
Yes, they have.
By Jupiter, I swear no.
By Juno, I swear I.
They durst not do it. They could not, would not do it. 'Tis worse than murder to do upon respect such violent outrage.
My lord, when at their home I did convey your letters to them, ere I rose from where I showed my duty kneeling, came there a reeking host, stewed in his haste, breathless, panting forth from Goneril his mistress' salutation, delivered letters, spite of intermission, which presently they read, upon whose contents they summoned up their mamies straight to course, commanded me to follow and attend the leisure of their answer, gave me cold looks, and meeting here, the other messenger, whose welcome I perceived had poisoned mine, being the very fellow that have played this blade so saucily against your highness, having more man than wit of me, he breathed the hells that build and coward cry. Your son and daughter found this trespass worth the shame which here it so fires.
Winter's not gone yet if the wild geese fly that way.
Where is this daughter?
With the earl, sir, here within.
Let me that. I hear.
That, sir, which serves and seeks for gain and follows but for form, will pack when it begins to rain and leave thee in the storm. But I will tarry. The fool will stay. Let the wise man fly. The knave turns fool that runs away. The fool, no knave, perdie.
Where learned you this, fool?
Not in the stocks, fool.
They are sick, they are weary. Fetch me a better answer.
My dear lord, you know the fiery quality of the Duke, how unmovable and fixed he is in his own course.
Vengeance, plague, death, confusion, fiery, opulent quality, master. Gloucester, march before the Duke of Cornwall and his wife.
My good lord, I have informed them.
Inform them! Thus thou understand me, man.
I'm a good
Give me my servant forth. Go tell the Duke and his wife I would speak with them. Now! Presently! Let them come forth and hear me, or at their chamber door I'll beat the drum till it cries sleep to death.
I would have all well betwixt you.
See my heart, my rising heart. But thou...
Cry to it, nuncle, as the cockney did to the eels when she put him in a paste alive. She knocked him over the coxcomb with a stick and cried, "Down, wantons, down!" 'Twas her brother that in pure kindness to his horse buttered his hay.
Morrow, people.
Hail, your grace.
I'm glad to see your highness.
Regan, I think you are. I know one reason I have to think so. If thou should not be glad, I would divorce thee from thy mother's tomb, sepulchre and adulteress. Oh, are you free?
Aye.
Some other time for that. Beloved Regan, my sister's not a Regan. She hath tied sharp-toothed unkindness like a vulture here. I can scarce speak to thee. I'll not believe with how depraved a quality of Regan.
I pray you, sir, take patience. I have hoped you less know how to value her deserts than she to scant her duty.
Say, how is that?
I cannot think my sister in the least would fail her obligation. If, sir, she have perchance her riots of your followers. 'Tis on such ground and to such wholesome end as clears her from all blame.
My curses on thou vouchsafe me raiment, bed and food.
Good sir, no more! These are unsightly tricks. Return you to my sister.
Never again. She hath abated me of half my trade. Looked black upon me and struck me with her tongue most serpent-like upon the very heart. You nimble-like things, dart your blinding flames into her scornful eyes. Infect her beauty, you fen-sucked fount, drawn by the powerful sun to fall and blast her.
Oh, the blessed gods! So will you wish on me when the rash mood is on.
Never, thou shalt never have my curse. Her eyes are fierce, eyes to comfort and not burn. Thou better knowest the offices of nature, bonds of childhood, effects of courtesy, dues of gratitude. Thy half of the kingdom hast thou not forgot, when I thee endowed.
Good sir, to the purpose.
Oh, put my man in the stocks.
What book is that?
I know it, my sister. This approves her letter that she would soon be here.
Who stopped my servant meeting? I have put home stop does not know of it. Who comes in? Oh, heavens! If you do love old men, yourselves are old. If your sweet sway allow obedience, make it your cause. Send down and take mine. Art not ashamed to look upon this beard? Oh, reek! Wilt thou take her by the hand?
Why not by the hand, sir? How have I offended? All's not offense and indiscretion finds a dotage term so.
Besides, you are too tough. Will you yet hold? Who put my man in the stocks?
I set him there, sir, but his own disorders deserved much less advancement.
You dead!
I pray you, father! Being weak seems so! If till the expiration of your month you will return and sojourn with my sister, dismissing half your trade, come then to me, for I am now from home, and out of that provision which shall be needful for your entertainment.
Return to her and 50 of my men dismissed? No! Rather, I abjure all roofs and choose to wage against the enmity or the air, to be a comrade with the wolf and owl.
At your choice, sir.
I prithee, daughter, do not make me mad. I'll not trouble thee, my child. Farewell! We'll no more meet, no more see one another. Yet thou art my flesh, my blood, my daughter. Rather a disease that's in my flesh, which I must needs call mine. Thou art a boil, a plague sore, an embossed carbuncle in my corrupted blood. But I am not chiding thee. I can stay with Regan. I and my 100 knights.
Not altogether so. I look not for you yet, nor am provided for your fit welcome. Give ear, sir, to my sister, for she knows what she does.
Is this wench?
I dare avouch it, sir. What? 50 followers? Is it not well? What should you need of more?
Why might not you, my lord, receive attendance from those that she calls servants or from mine?
Why not, my lord? If then they chance to slack you, we could control them. If you will come to me, for now I spy a danger. I entreat you to bring but 5 and 20. To no more will I give place or notice.
I gave you all.
And in good time you gave it.
Made you my guardian, my depository. But kept a reservation to be followed with such a number. What must I come to with 5 and 20, Regan? Said you so.
And speak it again, my lord. No more with me.
Those wicked creatures yet to look well favored when others are more wicked. Not being the worst, stands in for some rank of praise. Well, no indeed. thy 50 and doth double, 5 and 20. And thou art twice her love.
Hear me, my lord. What need you 5 and 20, 10 or 5 to follow in a house where twice as many have a command to tend you?
One need one.
Oh, he's enough to need. Our basest beggars are in the poorest thing superfluous. Allow not nature more than nature needs. Thou art a lady. If only to go warm or gorgeous, why nature needs not what thou warm, gorgeous wears, which scarce. But for true need, you heavens, give me that patience. Patience I need. No, you unnatural hags. I will have revenges on you both. And the whole world shall. I will do such things what they are. I know not, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. You think I'll weep? No, I'll not weep. I have full cause for weeping. But this heart shall break into 100,000 flaws, or I'll weep. A fool! Unshallow man!
Let us withdraw, it will be a storm.
This house is little. The old man and his people cannot be well bestowed.
His own blade hath put himself from rest and must he taste his folly.
For his particular I'll receive him, gladly, but not one follower.
So are my purposes. Where's my lord of Gloucester?
Follow the old man forth, he is returned.
King is in high rage.
Whither is he going?
He calls to horse, but will I know not whither.
'Tis best to give him way, he leads himself.
My lord, by no means entreat him to stay.
Alack, the night comes on, and the bleak winds do sorely ruffle. For many miles about, there's scarcely a bush.
Sure, to willful men, the injuries that they themselves procure must be their schoolmasters. Shut up your doors! He's attended by a desperate trade, and what they may incense him to, being apt to have his ear abused. Wisdom bids fear.
Shut up your doors, my lord. 'Tis a wild night. My Regan counsels well. Come out of the storm.
Who's there besides foul weather?
One minded like the weather, most unquietly.
I know you, sir. Where is the king?
Contending with the fretful element. Bids the winds blow the earth into the sea, or swell the curled water above the main, that things might change or cease. Tears his white hair, which the impetuous blast with eyeless rage catch in their fury and make nothing of. Strive in this little world of man to outscorn the to and fro conflicting wind and rain. This night where the cub-drawn bear was touched, the lion and the belly-pinched wolf keep their fur dry, unbonneted he runs and bids what's worth for all.
Sir, I do know you, and dare upon the warrant of my note commend a dear thing to you. There is division, although as yet the face of it be covered with mutual cunning, twixt Albany and Cornwall. But true it is, from France there comes a power into our scattered kingdom, who, already wise of our negligence, have secret feet in some of our best ports, and are at point to show their open banner. Now to you. If on my credit you dare to build so far to make your speed to Dover, there you shall find some that will thank you, making just report of the unnatural and bematting sorrow the king hath caused to claim. I am a gentleman of blood and breeding, and with some knowledge and assurance offer this office to you.
I will talk further with you.
Pray, sir, do not. For confirmation that I am more than my outlaw, open this purse and take what it contains. If you shall find Cordelia, which have no fear, but you shall, show her this ring, and she will tell you who your fellow is, which as yet you do not know. Fie on this storm! I will go seek the king.
Give me your hand. Have you nothing more to say?
Few words, but of all most important yet, that when we have found the king, in which your pain this way, I'll that. He that lights him first, hold out the other.
Blow winds and crack your cheeks. Blades blow, you cataracts and hurricanes. Spout till you have drenched our steeples, round the cocks. You sulphurous thought-executing fires, bold couriers to oak-cleaving thunderbolts, singe my white head. Then thou, all-shaking thunder, smite flat the thick rotundity o'er the world. Crack nature's walls, and German spill at once, that make ungrateful man.
Oh, nuncle! Court holy water in a dry house is better than this rainwater out o' door. Good nuncle, in and ask thy daughter's blessing. Here's a knight pities neither wise man nor fool.
Rumble thy belly full! Spitfire! Smoke rains! For rain, wind, thunder, fire are my daughters. I tax not you, you elements, with unkindness. I never gave you kingdom, called you children. Then let fall your horrible pleasure. Here I stand, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak, and despised old man.
He that has a house to put head in has a good headpiece. The codpiece that will house. Before the head has any, the head and he shall louse. So, beggars marry many. Who's there? Oh, Mary, here's grace in a codpiece. That's a wise man and a fool.
Alas, my lord, how you hear? Things that love knights of not such knights as these. Since I was a man, such sheets of fire, such bursts of horrid thunder, such groans of roaring wind and rain, I never remember to have heard.
Let the great gods that keep this dreadful power alive find out their enemies now. I am a man more sinned against than sinning.
Alack, bareheaded. Gracious my lord, hard by here is a hovel. Some friendship may it lend you against the tempest. Repose you there while I to this hard house return and post our scanted courtesy.
My wits begin to turn. Come on, my boy. How dost my boy? I'm cold. I am cold myself. Where is the straw, my fellow? Poor fool and knave. There's one part in my heart that's sorry and relieved. Come, bring us to this hovel.
This is a brave night to cool a courtesan. I'll speak a prophecy ere I go. When priests are more in word than matter, when brewers mar their malt with water, when nobles are their tailors' tutors, no heretics burn, but wenches' suitors. When every case in law is right, no squire in debt, nor no poor knight. When slanders do not live in tongues, nor cut purses come not to throngs. When usurers sell their gold in the field, and bawds and whores do churches build. Then shall the realm of Albion come to great confusion. Then comes the time, who lives to see it, that going shall be used with feet. This is a prophecy Merlin shall make, for I live before his time.
Alack, alack, Edmund, I like not this unnatural dealing. When I did beg their leave that I might pity him, they took from me the use of mine own house, charged me on pain of perpetual displeasure, neither to speak of him, entreat for him, nor any ways sustain him.
So savage and unnatural.
There is division betwixt the Duke, and a worse matter than that. I have received a letter this night, dangerous to be spoken. I have locked the letter in my closet. These injuries the king now bears will be revenged home. There is part of a power already footed. We must incline to the king. I will go seek him and privily relieve him. Go you and maintain talk with the Duke, that my charity be not of him perceived. If he asks for me, I am ill and gone to bed. Edmund, pray you, be careful.
shall the Duke instantly know, and of that letter too. This seems a fair deserving, and should draw me that which my father loses, no less than all. The younger rises, and the old doth fall.
Here is the place, my lord. Good my lord, enter. The tyranny of the open night is too rough for nature to endure.
Below.
Good my lord, enter here.
We'll break my heart.
I pray it would break mine own. Good my lord, enter.
Now these disfrancements that I surely made us to the skin. So 'tis to thee, but the tempest in my mind doth from my senses take all freedom.
Help me!
Give me that hand. Who's there?
A spirit! A spirit! Says his name's Poor Tom.
When I know that the trouble there in the straw, come forth.
Away! The foul fiend follows me! Through the sharp hawthorn rolls the cold wind. I told that poor
Now you Lord to my two daughters and not come to this.
who gives anything to poor Tom, whom the foul fiend has led through fire and through flame? Made him proud of heart to ride on a bay trotting horse over 4-inch bridges, to curse his own shadow for a traitor. Let's thy 5 wits. I'm cold. Bless thee from star blasting and whirlwinds and taking. Do poor Tom some charity. The foul fiend vexes. I have him now. And there again. And there. This cold night will turn us all to fools and madmen.
What hast thou been?
A serving man, proud of heart and mind, that curls my hair, wore gloves in my cap, one that served the lust of my mistress' heart, and did the act of darkness with her, swore as many oaths as I spake words, and broke them in the sweet face of heaven. One that slept in the contriving of lust, and wait to do it. Wine loved I deeply, dice dearly, and in woman outparamour the Turk. False of heart, slight of ear, bloody of hand, hog and sloth, fox and stealth, wolf and greediness, the madness, lion and prey.
Why thou wert better in thy grave than to answer with thy uncovered body this extremity of the skies. Is man no more than this? Consider him well. Unaccommodated man is no more than a poor, bare-fucked beast as thou art. Off, you let me.
Prithee, no cold, be contented. 'Tis a naughty night to swim in. Now, a little fire in a wild field is like an old lecher's heart, a small spark while all the rest on the body's cold. Go! Here comes a walking fire! This is the foul fiend, Fleming and Gibbet! He begins a curfew and walks until the first cock. He gives the web and the pin, squints the eye, makes the hairlet, mildews the white wheat, and hurts the poor creatures of the earth.
How fares your grace?
What's he?
What art thou? What dost thou seek?
What are you there, your name?
Poor Tom! That eats the swimming frog, the toad, the tadpole, the walnut and the water. Beware my follower. Oh, peace no smoking. Dost thou feed?
What, has your grace no better company?
The Prince of Darkness is a gentleman. Mono he's called. And Bahu.
Of flesh and blood my niece is grown, so vile that it doth hate what gets it.
Poor Tom's cold.
Well, come in with me. I cannot suffer to obey in all your daughter's hard commands. Let their injunctions be to bar my doors and let the tyrannous night take hold upon you. Yet have I ventured to come seek you out and bring you where both fire and food is ready.
First let me talk with this philosopher. What is the cause of thunder?
Would my lord take his sword? Go into the house.
I will take a word with this same learned demon. What is your study? How to prevent the foul fiend?
And to kill birds.
Let me ask you one word in private.
Good my lord, importuning once more to go in. His wit begins unsettled.
Canst thou blame him? His daughter seeks his life. Oh, that good Kent. He said it would be thus, poor banished man. Thou sayest the king goes mad. I tell thee, friend, I'm almost mad myself. I had a son, now outlawed for my blood. He sought my life, but lately, very late, I loved him, friend. No father his son dearer. True to tell thee, the grief hath crazed my wit. What a night is this! I never cease to pray.
By your mercy, sir. Noble philosopher, your company.
Oh, Tom's comb! Go, fellow, into the hovel. Keep thee warm.
Come! That's it all!
This way, my lord!
With him I will keep still with my philosopher.
Soothe him, my lord. Let him take the fellow.
Take him, you on.
Zero, come on. Go along with us.
Oh, what a king here!
Hush, hush. No word.
Child rolled into the dark tower cave, and his word was still, "I forward from, I smell the blood of the British man."
I will have my revenge ere I depart his house.
Now, my lord, I may be censured. That nature thus gives way to loyalty, something fears me to think of.
I now perceive it was not altogether your brother's evil disposition made him seek his death, but a provoking merit set to work by a reprovable badness in himself.
How malicious is my fortune that I must repent to be just. This is the letter he spoke of which approves him an intelligent party to the advantages of France. Oh, that this treason were not I the detector.
Go with me to the Duchess.
The matter of this paper be certain, sir, you have a mighty business in hand.
True or false, it is made the Earl of Gloucester.
Cut! Fuck you! Hey!
Couple lines back. All right, tell me when you're ready. Stand by. Ready? Stand by. You ready? Greg, you ready?
Yeah.
Ready, Courtney. All right, folks, thanks very much for your patience. Action! This is the letter he spoke of which approves him an intelligent party to the advantages of France. Oh, that this treason were not I the detector.
Go with me to the Duchess.
The matter of this paper be certain, sir, you have a mighty business in hand.
True or false, it had made thee Earl of Gloucester. Seek out where thy father is, that I may be ready for apprehension.
If I find him comforting the king, this will stop his suspicion for a bully. Sir, I shall persevere in my course of loyalty, for the matter be sore between that and my blood.
I will lay trust upon thee. Thou shalt find a dearer father in my love.
Here is better than the open air. Take it thankfully. I will piece out the comfort with what addition I can. I cannot be long from.
For the power of his...
And you are the foul fiend. He's mad that trusts in the tameness of an audience member. A boy's help, a horse's love, or a whore's oath.
I will arraign them straight. Come. Well, most learned justice, I'll sit down here. Now, sapient sir, sit here. Now, you she foxes.
Look, where he stands and glares. Watchest thou eyes at trial, madam? Come over to board best to me. Her board hath the leak if she dares not speak, why she dares not come over to me. The foul fiend haunts poor Tom in the voice of a nightingale. Well, hop dance cries in poor Tom's belly for 2 white herrings. Croak not, black angel, I have no food for thee.
How do you, sir? Stand you not so amazed. Will you lay down and rest upon the cushions?
I will see their trial first. Bring in the evidence. Come, you man of justice, take thy place. Now, this young fellow of equity, bench by his side. You are all the commission. Sit you too.
Let us deal justly. Just thou, Johnny Shepherd. The cat is gray.
I will arraign her first. 'Tis Garl. I here take my oath before this honorable assembly. She did kick the poor king, her father.
Come hither, mistress! Is your name Goneril?
She cannot deny it.
Oh, cry you mercy, I took you for a joint stool.
Stop it there! Arms up, sword, fire, corruption in the place. Push justice up. Why hast thou let us in?
What's thy 5 wits?
Oh, pity sir, where is the patience now that thou so often boasted to retain?
Our tears begin to take his part so much the more my counterfeiting.
The little dogs and all, Trey, Branch, and Sweetheart, see they buy-in.
Trouble throws at them! About your curse!
And let them anatomize Regan. See what bleeds about her heart. Is there any cause in nature that makes these hard hearts? You, sir, I entertain for one of my 100, but I do not like the fashion of your garments. You will say they are Persian attire, but let them be changed.
Good my lord, lay you down and rest a while.
Make no noise. Make no noise. Don't hurt so soon. We'll go suffering morning. So.
Come hither, friend. Where is the king, my master?
Here, my lord, but trouble him not. His weeks are gone.
Good friend, take him in thy arms. I have overheard a plot of death upon him. There is a litter ready. Lay him in it and drive toward Dover, friend. Well, thou shalt find both welcome and protection. Take up thy master. If thou shouldst dally half an hour, his life with thine, and all that offer to defend him stand in his sure and loss. Take up, and follow me. That will do some provision, give me quick conduct.
Come help to me, my master. Thou must not stay behind.
Where?
Come, away.
When we are better see, bearing our woes, we scarcely think our miseries our foes. Who alone suffers most in the mind, leaving free things and happy shows behind. But then the mind much sufferance doth o'erskip when grief hath mates and bearing fellowship. How light and portable my pain seems now, when that which makes me bend makes the king bow. He child, it is I fathered. What more will have tonight? Say, escape the king. Lurk! Lurk!
Post speedily to my lord, your husband! Show him this letter! The army of France is landed! Seek out the villain Gloucester!
Hang him instantly!
Pluck out his eyes!
Leave him to my displeasure. Edmund, keep you our sister company. The revenges we are bound to take upon your traitorous father are not fit for your beholding. Advise that you, where you are going, to a most festive preparation. We are bound to the like. Our post shall be swift, and intelligence betwixt us. Farewell, my dear sister. Farewell, my lord of Gloucester.
How now, where's the king? My lord of Gloucester hath conveyed him hence. Knights are gone with him towards Dover, where they both have well-armed friends.
Get horses for your mistress.
Farewell, sweet lord and sister!
Farewell. Who's there? The traitor?
Grateful fox, 'tis he!
Bind fast his courtyard.
What means your graces? Good, my friends, consider. I am your host. Do me no foul play, friend.
Bind him, I say.
Hard, hard! Oh, filthy traitor!
Unmerciful lady as you are, I am none.
To this chair bind him. Come, sir, what letters have you late from France?
Be simple answer, for we know the truth.
And what confederacy have you with the traitor, late-footed in the kingdom?
To whose hands have you sent the lunatic king? Speak!
I have a letter guessingly set down, which came from one that's of a neutral heart, and not from one opposed. Ah,
Cunning.
And false.
Where hast thou sent the king?
to Dover.
Wherefore to Dover? Was it not charged and
Wherefore to Dover? Let him first answer
I
that.
am tied to the stake, and I must stand the course.
Wherefore to Dover, sir?
Because I would not see thy cruel nails pluck out his poor old eyes, nor thy fierce sister in his anointed flesh brush tore his fangs. The sea was such a storm as his bare head and hell black night endured would have buoyed up and quenched the stellar fires. But poor old heart, he hopes the heavens to rain. But I shall see the winged vengeance overtake such children.
See it shalt thou never. Upon these eyes of thine I'll set my foot.
He that will live to think if he be old, give me some help. Oh, cry!
One side will mock another, the other too.
You see, vengeance, my lord.
Hold your hand, my lord! I've served you since I was a child. What better service have I never done for you than now to bid you hold?
How now, you dog?
If you did wear a beard upon your chin, I'd shake it on this world. What do you mean by this?
By villains!
Nathan, come on, take the chance of being.
Peasant, stand up thus! Give me thy sword!
My lord, I am slain. You are one I have left to see some mischief on him.
Lest it see more! Prevent it! Out, vile jelly! Where is thy luster now?
Oh, dark and comfortless. Where is my son, Edmund? Edmund! Enkindle all the sparks of nature to quit this horrid eye.
Oh, treacherous villain! Thou callest on him that hates thee! It was he that made the overtures of thy treasons to us, who is too good to pity thee.
Oh, my folly! Then Edgar was abused. Kind gods, forgive me that and prosper
Go!
him.
Thrust him out at gates! Let him smell his way to Dover. How is my lord? How look you?
I have received a hurt. Follow me, lady. Turn out, villain! Throw this slave upon the dunghill! Regan, I bleed apace. The time becomes this hurt. Give me your arm.
Yet better thus, and know to be contemned, and still contempt, and flattered to be worse. For the lowest and most dejected thing of fortune stands still in expiry, lives not in fear. The lamentable changes from the best, the worst, returns to laughter. Welcome then, thou unsubstantial air that I embrace, the wretch that thou hast blown unto the worst. Owest nothing to thy blast. Who comes here? My father, born in men. World, oh world, but that thy strange mutations make us hate thee. Life would not yield itself to age.
I prithee, away, good friend. I prithee, get thee gone. Thy comfort can do me no good at all, thee they may hurt.
Alack, my lord, you cannot see your way!
I have no way, and therefore want no eyes. I stumbled when I saw, full oft to seen, our means secure us, and our merest defects prove our commodity. O good son, Edgar, the food of thy abused father's wrath, that I might live to see thee in my touch, I'd say I had eyes again.
Oh now, Hosea, Tom!
The worst that may be yet. The worst is not so long as we can say this is the worst.
And blind to wanton boys are weak as the gods. They kill us for that score.
Bless thee, master!
Is that the naked fellow?
Aye, my lord.
Prithee, get thee gone. If, for my sake, thou wilt forsake us hence a mile or twain on the way toward Dover, do it for ancient love, and bring some covering for this naked soul, which I'll entreat to lead me. Zara! Fellow!
Poor Tom's cold! I cannot dog it further!
Come hither!
Yet I must. Lest my sweet eyes may bleed.
Knowest thou the way to Dover?
Go thy landscape, horseway and footpath. Poor Tom has been scared out of his 5 wits.
Here, take this purse. Thou, whom the heavens plagues have humbled to all strokes, that I am wretched makes thee the happier. Dost thou know Dover?
Aye, master.
There is a cliff, whose high and bending head looks fearfully on the confined deep. Bring me but to the very brim of it, and I'll repair the misery thou dost owe with something rich about me. From that place I shall know leading thee.
Give me your hand. Poor Tom shall lead thee.
Welcome, my lord! I marvel our mild husband not met us on the way. Oh, now, where's your master?
Madam, within, but never man so changed. I told him of the army that landed. He smiled at it. I told him you were coming. His answer was the worst of Gloucester's treachery and of the loyal service of his son. When I informed him that he called me sot and told me I had turned the wrong side out.
Then you shall go no further. Back, Edmund, to my brother. Hasten his musters and conduct his powers. I must change arms at home and give the distaff into my husband's hands. This trusty servant shall pass between us. Ere long, you are like to hear, if you dare venture in your own behalf, a mistress's command. Where this, spare speech, decline your head. This kiss, if it does speak, would stretch thy spirits up into the air. Conceive and fare thee well.
Yours in the ranks of death.
Oh, most dear Gloucester! The difference between man and man. To thee, a woman's service is our due. My fool usurped my body.
Madam, here comes my lord.
I had been worth the whistle.
Oh, Goneril, you are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face. I fear your disposition. That nature which contemns its origin.
No more! The text is foolish.
Wisdom and goodness to the vile seem vile. Filth savor but themselves. What have you done? Tigers, not daughters. What have you performed? A father and a gracious aged man whose reverence even the head-lugged bear would lick. Most barbarous, most degenerate. Have you magic?
Milk-livered man! Where's thy drum? France spreads his banner in our noiseless land. With plume and helm, my slayer begins to rest. Whilst thou, a moral fool, sit still and drives the lad. Why does he so?
See thyself, devil. Proper deformity seems not in the fiend so horrid as in woman.
My lord! The Duke of Cornwall dead slain by a servant going to put out the other eye of Gloucester!
Gloucester's eye?
A servant that he bred thrilled with remorse opposed against the eye, bending his sword to his great master who there in rage flew on Hamlet amongst them fell him dead. But now without that harmful stroke which is the blood to your master.
This shows you are above you justicers, that these are nether crimes so speedily can venge. But oh, poor Gloucester. Lost he his other eye?
Oh, my lord. Better madam, pray for speedy answers from your sister. One way I like this well, but being widow and my Gloucester with her, may all the building in my fancy pluck upon my hateful life. Another way, the news is not so tart. I'll read and answer.
Where was his son when they did take his eyes?
Come with my lady hither.
He is not here.
No, my good lord, I met him back again.
Knows he the wickedness?
Aye, my good lord, 'twas he informed against him and quit the house on purpose, that their punishment might have a freer course.
Gloucester, I live to thank thee for the love thou showedst the king, and to revenge thine eyes. Come hither, friend. Tell me what more thou knowest.
Why has the King of France so suddenly gone back? No evil reason.
Something was important to the kingdom, so much fear and danger that his personal return was most required and necessary.
Who has he left behind him, General?
The Marshal of France, Monsieur Lafarge.
Did your letters pierce the Queen to any demonstration of grief?
Aye, sir. She took them, read them in my presence, and now and then an ample tear trilled down her delicate cheek.
Oh, he moved her.
Not to a rage. Patience and sorrow strove who should express her deadliest. You've seen sunshine and rain at once.
Made she no verbal question?
Faith, once or twice she heaved the name of Father, pantingly forth, as if it passed her heart. Cried, sisters, sisters, shame of ladies, sisters. Kent, father, sisters, what, in the storm of the night? Let pity not be believed.
It's the stars. The stars above us govern our condition. Spoke you not with her since?
No.
Was this before the king went back?
No, since.
Well, sir, the poor distressed Lear's in the town, and sometimes in his greater tune remembers what we are come about, and by no means will yield to see his daughter.
Why, good sir?
Sovereign shame so elbows him. His own unkindness he minds so venomous. That burning shame detains him from Cordelia.
Alack, poor gentle man.
Of Albany's and Cornwall's powers you heard not?
'Tis so. They are afoot.
Well, sir, I'll bring you to our master Lear and leave you to attend him. Some dear cause will in concealment wrap me up a while. When I am known aright, you shall not grieve lending me this acquaintance. I pray you, go along.
archery send forth. Search every acre in the high-grown field and bring him to our eye. What can man's wisdom in the restoring his bereaved sense? He that helps him take all my outward worth. All blessed secrets, all you unpublished virtues of the earth spring with my tears. Seek for him!
News, madam! British powers are marching hitherward.
'Tis known before. Our preparation stands in expectation of them. Oh, dear Father, it is thy business that I go about. Therefore, great France, my mourning and important tears have visited. No blown ambition does our arms incite, but love, dear love, and our aged father's right. Soon may I hear and see him.
And are my brother's powers set forth?
Aye, madam.
Himself in person there.
Madam, with much ado, your sister is the better soldier.
Lord Edmund spake not with your lord at home.
No, lady.
What might import my sister's letter to him?
I know not, madam.
Faith, he is posted hence on serious matter. It was great ignorance Gloucester's eyes being out to let him live. Where he arrives, he moves all hearts against us. Edmund, I think, is gone in pity of his misery, to dispatch his knighted life, moreover, to describe the strength of the enemy.
I must needs after it, madam, with my letter.
Our troops set forth tomorrow. Stay with us, the ways are dangerous.
I may not, madam. My lady charged my duty of this business.
Why might she write to Edmund? Might not you transport her purposes by word? Belike something I know not what. I love thee much, let me unseal the letter.
Madam, I'd rather...
I know your lady does not love her husband, I am sure of that. And that her late being here, she gave strange looks, and most speaking beyond to noble Edmund. I know you are of the Muslims.
Aye, madam.
I speak in understanding, you are, I know it. Therefore I do advise you. Take this note. My lord is dead. Edmund and I have talked, and more convenient is he for my hand than for your lady's. You may gather more. If you do find him, I pray you give him this. And when your mistress hears this much from you, I pray, desire her, call her wisdom to her. So fare you well. If you do chance to hear of that blind traitor, preferment goes in him that cuts him off.
When I could meet him, madam, I should show what party I do follow.
Fare you well.
When shall I come to the top of that same hill?
Oh, you do climb up it now. Look how we labor. Oh,
Methinks the ground is even.
oh, horrible steep. Hark! Do you not hear the sea?
No, truly.
Why then, methinks your other senses grow imperfect by your eyes' anguish.
Maybe so indeed. Methinks thy voice is altered, but thou speaks in better phrase and matter than thou didst.
Oh, you are much deceived. Nothing in my chains, but in my garments.
You are better.
Oh, come on, sir. Here's the place. Stand still. How fearful and dizzy 'tis to cast one's eyes so low. The fishermen that walk upon the beach appear like mice, and yon tall anchoring bark diminish to her clock. I'll look no further, lest my brain turn and the deficient sight topple down headlong.
Set me where you stand.
Give me your hand. You are now within a foot of the extreme verge. We're all beneath the moon. Would I not leap upright?
Let go my hand. Here, friend, another purse. In it, a jewel well worth the poor man's taking. Buried in God's prospered with thee. Go no further off. Bid me farewell, and let me hear thee going.
Now fare ye well, good sir.
With all my heart.
Why I do trifle thus with this despair? It is done to cure it.
Almighty gods, this world I do denounce, and in your sight shake patiently my bitter affliction off. If I can bear it longer and not fall to quarrel with your great opposer's wills, my snuff and loathed part of nature would burn itself out. If Edgar lived, oh, bless him.
And yet I know not how conceit may rob the treasury of life, when life itself yields to the theft. Had he been where he thought, by this had thought been past. Alive or dead? Oh, you, sir! Friend, hear you, sir, speak! That's mighty pass indeed. Yet he revives. What are you, sir?
Away, and let me die.
Hadst thou been up a gossamer, the feathers, air so many fathoms down precipitating, thou shiverest like an egg. But thou dost breathe. Thou hast heavy substance. It speaks, odd sound. 10 masts on each lift off the altitude which thou hast perpendicularly fell. Thy life's a miracle. Speak yet again.
But have I fallen or no?
From the dread summit of this chalky bourne. Do but look up. The shrill-gorged lark so far cannot be seen nor heard. Do but look up.
Black, I have no eyes.
Give me your arm. Up. So. How is it? Your legs, your stand. This is above all strangeness. Upon the crown of the cliff, what was that thing which parted from you?
Poor unfortunate beggar.
As I stood here below, we thought his eyes were 2 full moons. He had 1,000 noses, horns, whelked and ridged like the enraged sea. It was some fiend. Therefore, thou happy father, think that the clearest gods, that make them honors of men's impossibilities, have preserved thee.
And to remember now, henceforth, I'll bear affliction to it to cry out itself, enough, enough, and die. That thing you speak of, I took it for a man. Often could say, the fiend, he led me through that place.
Bear free and patient thoughts. Comes here. A safer sentiment and accommodate his master thus.
They cannot touch me for quaining. I am the king himself.
Oh, thou side-piercing sight.
Give the word.
The sweet marjoram.
Pass.
I know that voice.
Goneril with a white beard. They flattered me like a dog. They told me I had white hairs in my beard ere the black ones were there. Say I, know to everything I said. I know too no good to me. And the rain came to wet me once, and the wind to make me chatter, when the thunder would not peace at my bidding. There I found them. There I smelt them out.